to English for You. I'm Erin.
And I'm Elsie.
And we are learning about Lin Yanzi and the organization she started in Nepal.
Lin learned about some problems what women face in Nepal and decided she wanted to help them.
That's right. Now, these problems include ignorance about women's health, especially about their periods.
In Nepal, many people believe that women are impure when they have their periods. They make them stay in huts or barns when they have their periods.
That's right. Now, this can cause huge problems. Sometimes the women are robbed or harmed by other people. Sometimes it gets so cold they freeze to death overnight.
This practice is not legal in Nepal anymore, but it still happens.
That's right. Now, another problem is that women in rural areas can't afford sanitary pads.
Instead, they use old cloth, which can lead to a lot of health problems.
Okay, so let's find out what Lin is doing to change life for these women and make life better in rural Nepal.
Reading.
Lin Yanzi creates a brighter future for Nepalese women. At the Dharti Mata Sustainable Workshop, local women are employed to produce Love Lady pads, which are made out of natural cotton. Since these pads are reusable, they are valuable for women who struggle to afford disposable ones each month. Plus, they're made on non-electric sewing machines, so both the finished product and production process are great for the environment. Besides giving Nepalese women jobs, Lin hopes to give them a voice. To do this, she holds local art exhibitions featuring the pads, where locals can learn about and discuss women's issues. By spreading knowledge, she aims to break down limiting beliefs, especially those that put women in harm's way. So far, Lin's exhibitions seem to be a welcome part of the community. Both men and women have participated by sharing personal experiences and stories. The Dharti Mata Sustainable Workshop has been just as successful. Its Love Lady pads are now sold internationally, including in Taiwan, the UK, and the US. It's clear that Lin's efforts are creating a better world for women in Nepal as well as for future generations.
All right, the first line of our article here says, at the Dharti Mata Sustainable Workshop, local women are employed to produce Love Lady pads, which are made out of natural cotton. Now, we said that these women are employed to do something. The verb employ is talking about when you pay someone to do a job for you. You give them money to do some work. Here's an example sentence. This company employs around 60 people, but they all have different jobs to do.
Employ 这个动词是聘雇或是雇佣，那文章中用到被动 local women are employed， 当地女性被雇佣。那被雇佣的人，员工，我们称他们为 employee， 在字尾加上 ee 两个字母就可以了。那雇主我们说是 employer， 在字尾加上 er。So local women are employed to make pads that are made out of natural cotton.
That's right. So we see the phrase make A out of B here. Now, when one thing is made out of another thing, you use one or more materials to make something else. Now, here, the women are using natural cotton to make Love Lady pads. Here's another example. This artwork is actually made out of old plastic bottles that were thrown away.
Make A out of B， 用 B 材料制作成品 A。那我们常会看到它以被动出现哦。A, B, made out of B。像文章我们就用到的就是被动了。Love Lady pads are made out of natural cotton. Love Lady pads 是由天然棉花制成的。
Now, of course, these pads are not disposable. They're reusable. It says, since these pads are reusable, they are valuable for women who struggle to afford disposable ones each month.
reusable 这个形容词呢是能重复使用的。那在文章当中，我们看到 since 这个连接词呢，它解释为 because 因为这样的卫生棉呢是可以重复使用的，所以没有办法负担抛弃式卫生棉的女性可以使用这项产品。The products are good for the women in Nepal.
That's right, for many different reasons. Now, it says here, plus, they're made on non-electric sewing machines, so both the finished product and production process are great for the environment. Now, we have a lot to talk about in that sentence. So let's start with non-electric sewing machines, okay? So electric is an adjective, and something that's electric needs electricity or power to work. That means you'll need to plug it in or use batteries to make it work. As this example says, many people believe that electric vehicles, like cars and scooters, are the way of the future. So they use electricity to work instead of gas.
Electric 这个形容词呢是用电的、电动的。那用电、电动的就要用到电力。刚 Aaron 有说到是 electricity。那我们看到文章里面这个形容词呢是 non-electric， 代表非电动的。We've learned that these pads are made on non-electric sewing machines.
That is right. Let's find out more about that now. All right, before we talk about sewing machines, let's talk about the verb sew. When you sew, you use a needle and thread to put pieces of material together, or to fix a hole in some material. Now, you can sew your own clothes, for example. A sewing machine is a machine that helps you sew things together more quickly than doing it by hand. Here's an example sentence. Tim sewed the hole in his t-shirt so that he didn't have to throw it away.
Sew 这个动词呢是缝制、缝补。那 sewing machine 就是缝纫机。They use this kind of sewing machines to produce products.
That's right. Do you know how to sew, Elsie?
I do not know.
I know how to sew by hand, but not on a sewing machine. I used to know, but it's been a really long time. All right, so they are using these non-electric sewing machines to produce products. Now, a product, this noun, is something that is either grown for people to sell and buy or made in a factory for people to sell and buy. Now, a product is anything that people buy and sell. The finished product is the item that is completely ready to sell. It's not being built anymore because it's finished and ready. Here's an example sentence. I heard that you're starting a small business. What kind of products do you want to sell?
Product 就是制品、产物或是产品。那 the finished product 就是完成品。The finished product is great for the environment, and production process is great for the environment too.
That is correct. Now, we learned what a product is. Now we should learn about the noun production. Now, production is the process of making things to be bought or sold. Now, when you think of people making things in factories, these things are products, and they are going through production, or they're being made or put together. Here's another example. What stage of production are these computers in? Are they almost ready to sell?
Production 这个名词呢，它指的是以销售为目的的生产制造，特别是指它的过程。那 production process 指的就是生产物品的过程。那这边帮同学做一下整理哦。Product 是产品，生产产品制造的动词是 produce， 名词特别指它的生产过程是 production。
There's a lot of words that we learned there. All right, let's continue on to the next sentence. It says, besides giving Nepalese women jobs, Lynn hopes to give them a voice.
A voice.
Now, they already have actual voices, but this phrase actually means to give someone a chance to tell people their opinions, needs, or feelings.
也就是让尼泊尔的女性可以为自己发声。What does she do to achieve this goal?
Okay, well, it says here, to do this, she holds local art exhibitions featuring the pads where locals can learn about and discuss women's issues. All right, we talked about art exhibitions that feature these Love Lady pads. Now, the verb feature means to include something as an important part of something else. Now, here we're saying that the pads are an important part of a local art exhibition. Now, that way, more people can learn about them, and not just women. Men and women can learn about these pads and women's needs as well. Here's an example sentence. There is a special menu at the restaurant for Valentine's Day. Each dish features a red food, like strawberries or tomatoes.
Feature 这个动词呢，代表的是以为特色。这些 art exhibitions 艺术展览以卫生棉为特色。那文章中我们还看到 locals 这个字，它就等于 the local people 当地人。
All right, so let's also learn about the noun issue, about women's issues here.
OK，、所以呢，有了这些展览呢，当地人就可以了解并讨论 women's issues。issue 这个字呢是问题、议题。Locals can know more about the women's problems.
That's right. Okay, so they are making these Love Lady pads. They're doing it in an eco-friendly way. They're good for the women's health. They're also holding exhibitions to teach more people about these problems. It says here, by spreading knowledge, she, that's Lynn, aims to break down limiting beliefs, especially those that put women in harm's way. Now, we said here that Lynn aims to do something. Now, this phrase, aim to do something, means that you're making that thing your goal and you're doing things to try to achieve your goal. Now, as an example, we could say, Greta aims to finish all of her tasks before 5 p.m. so that she can leave an hour early.
Aim to do something 代表就是打算、企图做某事。那这边呢 ，Lynn 要打算、企图做的是什么呢？是要 break down 扫除障碍、排除困难。这边要扫除的是 limiting beliefs 局限的观念。
All right, now we also saw that she wants to break down limiting beliefs that put women in harm's way. Now, this is today's pocket phrase, go in harm's way. So let's take a quick break to learn more about it.
Pocket phrase, go!
Listen, 今天美国总统川普有重要的事情要宣布。Kim not following the rules the UN made has put us all in harm's way. 火箭人，你不遵守规矩，会让我们都陷入危险，因为你把我们放在伤害经过的路上 ，in harm's way。所以也就是说，处于危险境地的意思。OK， 好，今天记者会就到这里。完，还没结束吗？好，那我趁现在再跟国民告知一下保健知识好了。If you don't exercise every week, you're putting your body in harm's way. 像我当总统以后，一直忙着让美国变伟大，都没空打高尔夫球，身体状况每况愈下。看来我还是让国家停摆一下，然后我再回去打球好了。
Okay, so we have seen what Lynn wants to do.
Yes.
We've learned about her goals. Let's find out how they have been seen in the community. It says here, so far, Lynn's exhibitions seem to be a welcome part of the community. Now, here we said the phrase so far. Now, we use this phrase to talk about things that have happened until now. That means that we're only talking about things that have happened in the past and present, but not the future. Here's an example. I've only been to 19 countries so far, but I would like to visit many more.
So far 这个片语呢，代表的是从过去到目前为止，没有到未来去咯。
Now, we should also talk about the grammar pattern and the word community that we saw in that sentence.
今天的英文练功房呢，要教我们的是如何表示不是很精确的推论，也就是似乎的意思。那句型是来第一个主词后面加上 seem 或者是第三人称的主词，你就必须要用 seems， 后面加上 to 以及一个原形动词。那第二个呢，我们用一个虚主词 it 放在前面，后面加 seems， 再接上 that 以及一个 主词再加上动词。那我们刚刚说到 it 是个虚主词，代替真主词，真主词在哪里呢？就是 that 所引导的子句。For example, he seems to be sick. 这句话我们也可以换成 It seems that he's sick. 那课文当中呢，我们说到 Lynn's exhibitions seem to be a welcome part of the community. 这句话也可以用虚主词来代替哦，会变成 It seems that Lynn's exhibitions are a welcome part of the community. 那 community 是什么意思呢？就是社区群体。
Okay, now we briefly talked about this before, but we're going to talk about it again here. It says both men and women have participated by sharing personal experiences and stories. Now, of course, by participate, we mean take part or join in. So it's not just women doing these things, it's also the men in the area.
男女都有参与这样的活动，所以 participate 就是参与加入的意思。那他们都会在那边 share personal experiences，分享个人的经验。And the woman's voice can be heard.
That's right. So she has been doing a lot of these things, and of course, the workshop that she started has also been doing things. It says here, the Dharti Mata Sustainable Workshop has been just as successful.
Good for Lynn, good for women in Nepal, and good for the world.
That's right. Now let's find out how it's good for the world. It says its Love Lady pads are now sold internationally, including in Taiwan, the UK, and the US. Now, of course, internationally is an adverb. We know that from the ly. And it describes things that happen in many countries, not just one.
Internationally 这个字就是国际化的。那我们说到这边 so the pads are available in Taiwan too.
That's right.
We can buy the pads. We can support women in Nepal by purchasing Love Lady pads.
That's right. So in Taiwan, even in Taiwan, you don't have to be in Nepal to help. We can go out, we can buy these Love Lady pads. We can have a better world for our environment, right? Because they're reusable, and we help these women.
Yeah, because they make these pads.
That's right. They get paid to do this. So if we buy them, they get paid. They create a better future for themselves and their children. All right, so it says in the article here, it's clear that Lynn's efforts are creating a better world for women in Nepal as well as for future generations. Now, not just for women in Nepal, as well as future generations. This phrase, as well as, is another way of saying and or also. We use it to add more information. This sentence here tells us how Gary invited Christine as well as Bob to his birthday party.
A as well as B 代表 A 以及 B， 除了 A 之外还有 B。那记得哦 ，A 是主角 ，B 是副角、配角的意思哈。那再来 future generations 是未来的世代。So thanks to Lynn, women in Nepal have job opportunities, affordable pads, and their voice can be heard.
What an amazing woman and what an amazing thing to do. We should all try to be a bit more like Lynn Nianzi.
Yes.
All right, well, we are finished with today's article. We are going to go to our For You chat now.
For You chat.
Okay, so our For You chat question for today is, why is it important to give people in need a voice? Please discuss.
Okay, well, of course, people in need often don't have ways to tell people what they need, right? We think about people who are very wealthy and people who are very poor, and we think, who do we hear about more in the news?
Wealthy people.
Wealthy people, of course.
Powerful people.
Exactly. So if we are only hearing about these people, we don't know what other people need. We just know what other people have, right?
Like women in Nepal.
Exactly. So how many of you out there have known about these women in Nepal before? Now, if we don't know about them, we can't fix their problems, right? And so the people who do have things need to help other people who don't talk about things.
Right. So like in the art exhibitions, people there are sharing their experiences.
Right.
Including men and women. So women can share their own experiences, and men there can hear their problems.
Exactly. And you know what? The men can share their experiences as well and show how they haven't known how to fix these problems, right? And so once we give everybody a voice, people start to learn more. So that's what we think. What about you guys? You guys can discuss this as well. Talk about it with your friends, classmates, and your teacher. I'm sure they have good ideas too. We are all out of time. So for English for You, I'm Erin.
I'm Elsie.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Lin Nian-ci creates a brighter future for Nepalese women. At the Dharti Mata Sustainable Workshop, local women are employed to produce Love Lady pads, which are made out of natural cotton. Since these pads are reusable, they are valuable for women who struggle to afford disposable ones each month. Plus, they're made on non-electric sewing machines, so both the finished product and production process are great for the environment. Besides giving Nepalese women jobs, Lin hopes to give them a voice. To do this, she holds local art exhibitions featuring the pads, where locals can learn about and discuss women's issues. By spreading knowledge, she aims to break down limiting beliefs, especially those that put women in harm's way. So far, Lin's exhibitions seem to be a welcome part of the community. Both men and women have participated by sharing personal experiences and stories. The Dharti Mata Sustainable Workshop has been just as successful. Its Love Lady pads are now sold internationally, including in Taiwan, the UK, and the US. It's clear that Lin's efforts are creating a better world for women in Nepal as well as for future generations.
Vocabulary Review.
Employ. This company employs about 50 workers in its 3 offices. Electric. An electric guitar has a completely different sound than a non-electric guitar. Sew. We learned to sew a blanket by using a sewing machine at school. Product. At the supermarket, Bob bought some products to clean his house. Production. We'll start production of the new cars next week. Feature. This night market features many famous traditional foods.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net